I have a love-hate relationship with WWE title reigns. In the beginning, I'll get behind a superstar who's on the verge of winning the WWE Championship. I support him through his trial and tribulations, and eventually, he wins the championship. Everybody's joyous, there's celebration, mission accomplished. But then, he goes on to defend the title and wins over and over and over again. It gets to a point where like, all right, we get it. You're a 99 overall. Enough already. But they keep on going. And a person that's been known to do this is CM Punk. Going into 2011, I didn't really care for CM Punk. He was doing the new Nexus thing. He was floating around the mid-card. It was nothing special. But when the summer came around, everything changed. After winning the #1 contenders match for the WWE Championship, CM Punk started to do what he wanted, say what he wanted, stand up against the authority. He was doing everything that 10-year-old me wanted to do at the time, or would have done if I didn't have to worry about the consequences. So seeing somebody do what I wanted to do, it made it pretty easy for me to get behind him. But then to add on the hardest thing someone could do, and that's win the main company's title and then walk out of the company with the title, it left me with no choice but to support him. CM Punk would end up winning the title and actually walking out of the company with it. And he would leave for about a week, then he'd come back, and then he'd lose the title. But he eventually regained the title at Survivor Series, and that would be the beginning of his 434-day title reign. In the beginning, I was happy for him. He was defending his titles, he was winning his matches, but over time, I was starting to get annoyed because he was beating my favorite superstars, and then he turned heel. By August 2012, I couldn't wait for him to lose the title, but he kept on winning. So at that point, I thought there would be nobody that could beat him and that he'd hold the title forever, until he ran into this man.
Feed me more.
In 2012, Ryback was that guy. He was running through the competition, he had momentum behind him, and he had a cool theme song. So when he finally got the chance to face CM Punk, I thought this was it. This is the guy who's gonna beat CM Punk. So after getting cheated out of a win at Hell in a Cell, Ryback would get another shot at the title in a triple threat match of Survivor Series. So the night after Survivor Series, I'm tuning into Raw to see the highlights of Ryback winning the WWE Championship. Instead, I'm seeing Ryback get jumped by 3 men in all black. And I'm looking at the TV screen like,
who are these niggas?
because I never watched NXT before, so I didn't know who they were. But this meant that CM Punk was still champion and his reign would continue until the Royal Rumble, where he would lose it to The Rock. Looking back, this was actually a decent title reign, but in the moment, I was tired of seeing CM Punk winning. So I guess the desire to see him lose prevented me from realizing how great of a title reign this actually was. But this isn't the only reason that long WWE title reigns are torture, because with long WWE title reigns, you also miss out on better options. For example, AJ Styles' year-long title reign. AJ Styles' year-long title reign already started off on a bad note for me because it took the title away from Jinder Mahal, and I was excited to see Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal at Survivor Series. I don't care what nobody says, I think that build in that match would have been great. After his feud with Jinder Mahal, AJ Styles would then go on to feud with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And Kevin Owens would have been the perfect person to lose the title to, because this was back when Kevin Owens was Kevin Owens. 2018 Kevin Owens was ruthless. He didn't care about anybody. All he cared about was himself and how he would benefit from the situation. 2018 Kevin Owens would have broke Cody Rhodes' leg, beat him for the title, took his American Nightmare coat, burnt it. AJ Styles will go on to defend the title against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble in a handicap match where AJ Styles managed to win. I was bummed, but I just brushed it off because there were many great opponents that he could lose the title to, but not Shinsuke. I didn't think Shinsuke was a great option at all, but it is what it is. Shinsuke and AJ Styles have their match at WrestleMania, and it was actually a decent match. Yes, their match at Wrestle Kingdom was better than their WrestleMania match, but by the way people talk about the two matches, you would think their WrestleMania match was a Temu version of their Wrestle Kingdom one, or on the same level as Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg at WrestleMania 20. After months of low blows, AJ and Shinsuke's feud would come to an end, but it was on the July 24th, 2018 episode of SmackDown where AJ Reigns' title reign would start to pick up with his feud with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe was the perfect person to lose the title to on SmackDown at the time. He could talk, he could wrestle, and he was a devious individual. The man had a beard with no mustache. It doesn't get any more devious than that. In months, Samoa Joe would try to take AJ Styles' WWE Championship and his family. But he would fail, and their feud would end at Crown Jewel. And on November 13th, 2018 episode of SmackDown, AJ Styles would finally lose the WWE Championship to Daniel Bryan. For a title reign that's as long as AJ Styles' it's inevitable that things will get predictable, which is another bad trait of long WWE title reigns that was showcased by Roman Reigns. Heel character that, in my opinion, fit his personality. When he was doing his promos, it didn't feel like he was playing a character or reading off a script. It felt like he was being himself, that everything he said was how he actually felt. He was a natural trash talker. All the jokes, all the insults he was throwing at his opponents were too smooth and too good to be reading off a script. He was in his element. And you could tell he was in his element when he said the N-word live on television with no remorse or no hesitation. He just kept talking like it was a regular conversation. The man went from saying suffering succotash to the N-word. If that isn't personal development, I don't know what is. I know Vince and Hulk Hogan were proud of him that night, but he wasn't only in his element in his promos, he was also in his element in the ring. Because while he was gone, he maxed out all his attributes, came back, and started running through everybody. He was beating top guys like Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Edge. He was taking belts. He even took Xavier Woods' crown so he could be the king of the ring. He made 2021 his year. But as time went by, Roman Reigns would start to get help to win his matches. And it happened so often that instead of wondering, is this the guy that's gonna beat Roman Reigns? People started to wonder, who's gonna come and help him this time? This would make the ending to his matches predictable and kind of stale. But then the 2023 Royal Rumble came around and Cody Rhodes won the Rumble match. Leading up to WrestleMania, everything was lining up for Cody Rhodes to be the guy to beat Roman Reigns to take the title. And surely WWE would not pull the same ending on the grandest stage of them all, the biggest pay-per-view of the year.
Bruh.
They really had Cody Rhodes' whole family pull up just to see him lose in the main event of WrestleMania. And these results shocked everybody. Everybody wanted to know, why did they do this? And this is what Triple H had to say.
In the WWE, the story never finishes. Tomorrow night on Raw, it's sold out Crypto Arena. The story continues. The story takes another chapter. We just got to the end of a chapter, but the story continues, and that's where this gets interesting to me.
Is this nigga serious?
So after this whole build, all these matches, the story still isn't done. So we have to go through another year's worth of interferences. Yes, that's exactly what happened. Then 1 year later, Cody Rhodes faces Roman Reigns for the title. He wins. Y'all know how it goes. In hindsight, the story ending at WrestleMania 40 was the better option, so I guess it was worth going through another year of interferences. So, in summary, long WWE title reigns do have the potential to be great, but a lot of them don't live up to the expectation and go past their expiration date. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.